Welcome to the Con Guy Comic-Con Prep Show. This week we talk about Justice League, which is Warner Brothers' answers to the Avengers. It arrives in theaters this week, and we have seen it twice. All of us. Also, San Diego Comic-Con. The dates have already been arriving. There's so much that you guys need to know about that. We've got it all tonight, and we talk about the end of the year Comic-Cons that you guys can join with us. Also, we're thankful for some stuff, and we'll tell you what tonight.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk, we talk movies. And now, here's Popcorn Talk's The Con Guy Comic-Con Prep Show.
Hey, what's the name of the song, Cheese?
Icky Thump.
Icky Thumb by who?
The White Stripes.
Why are we playing this song?
Because it's Aquaman's theme in the new Justice League.
In the new Justice League. And thank you guys for tuning in. We've been gone for a few weeks. This is the Comic-Con, the Con Guy Comic-Con. I always get, there's so many C's there. This is the Con Guy Comic-Con Prep Show. And we are so glad you guys are here tonight. Hopefully you have subscribed to the channel. You've subscribed to the show here. You can catch us on the website, theconguy.com, or right here on the Popcorn Talk, the Con Guy Comic-Con Prep Show. I got to work on that a little bit. I have not been drinking
It's your
at all.
tongue twister for the evening.
So, anyways, we've got a lot to talk about tonight. We're talking about Justice League, which we're really excited to talk about tonight. We're talking about all the things getting ready for San Diego Comic-Con. We have a lot of news this week, and it's also Thanksgiving week. We are most thankful that you guys are with us this week. And who do we have with us this week?
That's right.
What's up? How's it going? My name is Carrie Lane. You can find me online at Carrie D Lane. That's Karidlane.
I'm Jake. You can find me online at JT Hummus.
And I'm Luke Cheeseman. Normally Cheeseman on the couch over there, but I'm Cheeseman here at the table tonight. And you can find me on theconguy.com and on Twitter at ConGuyLuke.
You're not at the kids' table
Yeah, I was
anymore.
just
This is
thinking
the grown-ups table for
Yay!
Thanksgiving.
Table for Thanksgiving.
Yes.
It's for Thanksgiving week. That's right. Speaking of Thanksgiving
And I get to
week,
feed myself too.
Yay.
No
what do you-
crumbs for Luke.
what do you got on your shirt this week? What is that?
This is an Ohio State mesh up with Star Wars. I got this at the Buckeye store in Columbus, Ohio, but it's a big week, rivalry week here in college football, so why not show love for the con world and for college football?
But why did they make it with Star Wars? I mean, Star Wars is cool, but
Why not mix everything with Star Wars? I mean, you have Star Wars Christmas with Christmas hats.
yeah,
You
but
probably...
is there any other parallel there?
There's not.
Okay.
I'm sure the
trying to sell
band.
the
I
t-shirt.
think the
Cool.
band has probably played Star Wars themes, though. The Ohio
Hey.
State marching band.
So,
Okay.
wait. So, who are they playing this weekend?
Michigan. Boo.
Michigan.
Ooh,
so,
bum,
so do we know
bum,
anybody
bum.
who's a big Michigan fan who might be watching this? Mad Max calling you out.
None of them are cool, so no, they wouldn't watch this.
Oh, Max is going to kill you. Anyways, thank you guys for tuning in this week. As you might know, if you've been following the interwebs, the one of our co-hosts tonight is not with us tonight because he is celebrating something really cool. And I think we have a picture of, there it is. Ben Cleaver has proposed to his lovely lady, Bree, and they are going to be, we don't know when they're going to get married, but I think we have a couple of pictures here.
He's
I
almost
like-
wearing mini ears back there.
Were they at,
They had them later.
I think they're at Disneyland,
Yeah.
right?
No, they're totally
this
at Disneyland.
This is Disneyland. Okay.
They have
great.
ears. There's another photo if you follow him online.
There
There
they
you
go.
go.
Yes.
Yay!
We just want to send a great, big, huge congratulations shout out to Ben and Bree. They have both been here, and they are starting a brand new blog called, what is it? The Con Couple
Yeah, on Instagram.
on Instagram. Yeah,
She
Cute.
looks like she's calling her parents there.
Yeah.
That's exactly what she's doing.
What?
This is ignorant commentary on these photos.
Actually, you know what's really
He's
funny?
pointing at her Android? I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure I asked her like the last time she was here. I'm like, so when's this happening? She's like, I don't know. It needs to be like she wanted it to be soon, and I guess it did happen soon. So yay!
I'm a little disappointed it wasn't live on the show, though. But, you
would-
know, Disneyland will have to do.
Well, remember
Yeah.
last time they were on the show, he said they were saving for something big, and we thought it was a television, but obviously it was not. But anyways, congratulations, guys. We are really happy
It's
for you.
adorable.
That's awesome. It's awesome. All right, we're going to jump it right in to what we got going on tonight because we have a whole lot to cover and a little time to cover it, and we're just excited to be back.
Yes.
So, we've all kind of, Carrie's been super busy with a bunch of shows. What can you tell us what you've been doing?
Oh, well, actually, this past Saturday, I was assistant director and I did effects and was the monster in a short horror film.
Seriously?
So, yeah, it was fun.
What monster?
Monster.
Like, a ghost thing. It wasn't terribly
Ghost
described
thing.
to me. It was just like, okay, just be like kind of dead. So I did makeup on my hands and then my face, and so spoilers, but it'll be a while till you guys see it. But this girl's like looking under a bathroom stall, and I grab her and pull her under.
Oh crap!
Oh my gosh.
What's
that's
it
so
called?
Creepy.
The stall.
The stall.
The stall.
The stall.
I hope they put it online.
Did you have a creepy voice?
No, and they recorded someone else to technically the character snickers and cries, and I did it when we were as the AD while she was filming her shots. But then later I had to go, and so somebody else recorded the sounds. So I'm like, well, the sounds won't be mine, but that's okay.
Can your creature have an official name right now, like the Staller or the Ghost
I don't
Thing?
know. That's a good question.
Okay.
That's a good question. I'm like, wait, I think that is on something. They're like, Carrie's gonna be our AD and. And I don't remember what they called it. And then the next day, we had a photo shoot. I'm in a show coming up soon called Goddesses Empowered, and we have a show December 16th. So look on social media. I've posted lots of photos and boomerangs, fun stuff. And so we had a photo shoot on Sunday for that, really early in the morning. But it was so much fun, and so that's the like big, more recent things. And then here. Shows on AfterBuzz and Popcorn Talk, respectively. We have Horror Movie News, which is tomorrow at 4 p.m.
Tomorrow being November 21st.
And a Tuesday.
If you're not watching
Tuesdays.
this live, yeah.
There you go. Tuesdays.
Tuesdays.
Sorry, I guess I should say the days. Mondays is Marvel TV News at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Next week, Vikings is starting Wednesday at 8 p.m. All these are Pacific, so I'm not going to say it every time. And then Sunday is Box Office Breakdown and Star Trek Discovery. Even though it's on hiatus, we're still just talking about Star Trek. So last week we talked about are the J.J. Abrams movies good or bad, and we rated all of them and talked about all of them. Next week we're ranking all of the captains in order,
even
so
more.
you'll
Nice.
want to talk
Yes.
about that. And Animation Weekly, I just joined onto that show, and that show is now moving to Mondays, and that will be at 5.
Do you ever sleep? I mean, for
Not
crying out
much.
loud.
This past weekend, I went to the shoot, and then I have like bruises all over my knees from. It was great. So I'm doing all the stall stuff, and like one of the things that's funny, I'll post a video so you guys can see it. We had to have the stall locked from the inside so that the girl could push it, and we didn't want to make someone like wait in there. And I'm like, hold on, and like slipped under and slipped back out. And then the next day, I'm like, oh, cool, I got my dance photo shoot with big old bruise on my knee.
Aw.
Oh, I didn't really care, but it was kind of funny. And,
That's what shimmer tights are for.
yeah, I didn't do tights.
I don't know what that is.
Could have got tights.
A shimmer type.
Shimmer tights for like aerobic 80s videos? Sorry, I'm showing my age.
Well, you can do the flesh tone pantyhose tights, which are really nice. and
That's
that would break up
exactly
some
what
of
you
the
should
color.
do. Exactly, yes.
You know,
Did
just
Richard
saying.
Simmons wear them?
Probably.
Probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, so that was
I
fun.
tried
And
so
those are my social media.
bad to do that costume this year. I wanted to be the Richard Simmons held in captivity guy, with the milk crate. Someone please find me. But I just couldn't find the. I
Where
couldn't.
is he?
He's missing.
I think they should make a movie about him and Pauly Shore should play him.
Oh, that would be great.
I've always thought that. Pauly Shore, if you are watching or out there somewhere, you should play Richard Simmons.
I don't think he has the enthusiasm to play Richard Simmons.
I think he could. I feel like it's
All
in
right,
there.
guys, let's clap. All right, all right, let's do this.
All right.
Yeah.
So anyway, so Jake, what you been up to these past few weeks? We haven't seen you in a bit since like right before Halloween.
Lots
we
of stuff. You
had
know, exciting thing. My wife's a director. She had a short film play at the Napa Film Festival, so we
Nice.
got to go enjoy delicious free Cabernet Sauvignon. My parents visited and watched some great movies, including one by Big Bang Theory producer and writer Lee Aronson. It was called the Magic Music Movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Nice.
really good.
Nice.
Also saw a sneak preview of I, Tonya with Margot Robbie, Harley Quinn.
I've heard about that.
You
Yeah.
should see it. It's a really great comedy. It's a
Okay.
really great comedy.
When you Tanya, it's
Tanya Harding,
Yeah.
the whole story about her life and also the scandal with Nancy Kerrigan. But imagine The Big Short, if you're familiar with that movie, but about figure skating. That's the tone that it's going for, and I think it really succeeds. It's really good.
Awesome.
So let's saw a lot of great movies up there.
we're gonna have to get Erin on here, your wife, sometime because she's just an incredible filmmaker and she's.
I
got
agree.
lots-
She's too busy. She's
Yeah.
doing something right now, so she. Anyway, that's my life.
Cheeseman, who is off the couch this week. What have you been up to?
What have I been up
So
to?
we've gone for 3-4 weeks
Well, I went to Disney World
in Florida.
in Florida,
Yeah.
which is Disney World.
I was gonna say that's the only Disney World.
That's the only Disney World.
Most people don't know the difference.
And I
Oh.
went to Halloween Horror
We're
Nights
not
at
most
Universal
people.
Studios.
Orlando.
Orlando.
See, that one you could specify.
Yeah, well,
And
you know,
we-
they're right beside each other. And then I went to a place called Key West,
Oh my
also,
Cool.
and saw the exterior house of Robert the Doll.
which was so fantastic.
Oh yeah, are you guys watching Lore yet?
We saw
I
it.
saw
Saw it.
that episode.
Yay!
Yeah,
Saw the episode.
That was
went
a
down
good
to
episode.
Pictures of
It
the
was.
house. It was great.
I saw Robert last year. I didn't ask to take his picture, but I did anyway.
His picture was all over.
Dude,
Key
he's
West.
gonna haunt you, man.
Yeah.
I
you gotta
know.
ask his
I haven't
permission.
sent
Yeah.
a letter yet.
And we will talk about that a little bit more on our other TV show, our other
That counts.
podcast that we have called The Scare Guy, which will be.
Technically, you can watch YouTube on your TV, so it's a TV
This is
show.
true.
And we did go to Stan Lee. I don't think we've had a show since then.
Yeah,
too.
the thing is,
Oh, yeah.
we went to Stanley's LA Comic Con, which was a fantastic show. They broke 100,000. I mistakenly said that they were planning on 125,000. That is not true. They were looking to break last year's record, which was like 93,000, and they went well over 100,000, which they
That's
are
great.
very happy with.
That's great.
Makes them one of the largest conventions in the country.
Which is interesting because I was hearing a lot of feedback that people felt it was not as full this year.
It didn't feel full, and that's what's crazy. Like I
Did
never
they
felt crowded.
Make it bigger, like
thought it
actual
felt-
floor space,
I
and
don't
then it
think so.
didn't
The
feel
floors,
crowded.
it was cool how they did kind of the big panels right there on the floor, so it wasn't like these big long lines and all the biggest
Okay.
things happening were
Like
just
their
like
Hall
right
H
there.
was in the middle of the convention
Yeah.
floor.
I spun the
that's
wheel of
great.
Price is Right too, and I rolled
He
that
won.
$1.
Yes, I saw.
I got my
Did
free
you
hat. I
just-
should have worn that.
yeah.
He won. Yeah,
I
at the
liked your
Price is
video.
Right. Our friend,
Thank you.
Our friend Kristen was working there.
Yeah.
No last names, and so she.
She may have been on one of these shows before.
oh, that's right. She was on an
Still
AfterBuzz
waiting
show.
for that footage.
What they get her on. But anyways, for those of you who were not able to attend Stanley's Comic Con, I do suggest that you try to attend if you're in the LA area. It is fantastic. We did.
I mean, Tommy Wiseau's there, so why not?
I know Tommy Wiseau. You got a Tommy Wiseau
Hey,
the
Mark.
bobblehead.
Bobblehead. Oh, hi, Tommy.
Can you tell people who Tommy Wiseau is? If they.
He is the director, writer, and lead actor in the movie The Room. And they're also making a movie called The Disaster Artist about his life. So a very inspiring person.
There's a
and
giant-
very
banner of
Cool
him
person
over
to
the
meet.
movies in Burbank. Did you see it today?
No, I haven't seen
The
that yet.
Disaster Artist.
I
Yeah.
saw him walking around, or he had a booth at WonderCon. I walked by. It's like, okay.
Oh, hi, Carrie. You want to buy something? $10.
I
I'd
haven't
sign
seen the
poster
movie,
for
and
you.
I don't plan to.
But I must admit, we did use Carrie's advice this time, and we did not pay to park.
Yay!
Yeah.
We have graduated
Yeah,
to
no,
the.
I remember he was texting me. He's like, "Where?" I'm
We
like,
won't tell
Do
anybody.
you
Can't tell
like
anybody.
those? I sent him a photo.
Yes, you
Did he
did.
pass it to you?
Yes,
I'm like,
he did.
this
It
area.
worked both days.
It
Oh,
worked.
good. See, that's
Both
the
days
area.
we went in. Yeah, we'll have to. We do have. If you guys want to check out, we do have some photo galleries on the website of Stanley's Comic Con and some videos and different things. It was a whole lot of fun. I
And
really enjoyed it.
Con guy Derek had an interesting costume too. So.
Yeah, Kagai Derek, who's not here tonight. Derek is usually sitting here with us. He's in the Army Reserve, and so he was on drill. Was he Army Army Reserve? And he's on drill this past weekend, so he's exhausted. Derek and Laura, you guys are probably watching us, or maybe not. So we just want to. Derek's
They
been
might
gone
watch
for
it
4
later.
days. Derek's tired. He's going to bed. But anyways, Derek had one of the best costumes I've ever seen. You guys watch Rick and Morty? He was the guy. Do you know who's the guy with the bucket on his head and basically he's wearing just leather straps? He was in one episode and
Oh my God! Okay, he's in the most recent season. He's in season 3. He's in the 2nd episode, I believe.
yeah. I think
Yeah.
it's.
I can't remember his name, but I know exactly who you're talking about.
Let's just say it was a pretty ballsy costume, and it's in every sense of the word. So
It's like
let's.
really gimpy. It's like yeah.
Derek pulls off ballsy costumes.
Yes, he
He
does.
does.
Yes.
He does. We had Halloween.
Again, he's in the Army
Wait,
Reserves.
you said leather straps,
Coming
and
from
then
the
you called it a
pumpkin here.
ballsy costume?
It was literal, figurative, everything.
You
Okay.
don't want me to
The
describe.
whole
Well,
package.
that's like
That's what I'll say.
Your pumpkin outfit, though, I mean, kind of
Yeah.
similar.
We won't touch upon
Okay.
that.
We
Anyway.
won't talk
So,
about that.
anyways, let me go ahead and we're gonna jump on the bulletin board.
Yes.
These are some of the best conventions that are happening here at the end of the year. These are your year-end conventions. We are now halfway through November, so we got about like 6 or 7 weeks left in the year, and that's it. Oh
my gosh.
And surprisingly, there's still a lot of conventions, a lot of things to hit. A lot of the giant, bigger ones are kind of out of the way. Just this past weekend we had one in Jersey, which was another one of the big ones. I think that one just finished. But here are some of the ones that are coming up. November 25th and 26th, Virginia Comic Con in Richmond, Virginia. And then December 1 through December 3 in Jamaica, New York, there is New York WinterCon. And it looks like they have the full cast of the Justice League will be there.
Cool.
Oh, cool.
Which would be kind of cool. December 2nd through the 3rd in San Jose, Heroes and Villains Fan Fest, which is it's a festival. It's a series of festivals that is associated with Stephen Amell from what's the show?
Arrow.
Arrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he kind of thought, hey,
Cool name for a con.
it's kind of an awesome thing. So he's going to be there. There's a lot of people from the CW shows will be there. So it's going to be kind of a cool thing that if you're in the San Jose area, December 2 through 3, you should check it out. Then December 8th through the 10th in Monroeville, Pennsylvania, Steel City Con. Steel City, Pennsylvania. Okay, near Pittsburgh. All right,
yeah.
that makes sense to me. Ace Comic Con, December 8th through the 10th, Long Island, New York. Ace Comic Con, December 8th through the 10th, Long Island, New York. Ace is another series of Comic Cons, and they have some coming up in January and February as well. But so, Long Island, New York, check it out. And then this one's kind of cool. January 26th through 28th. This is next year, but since it's in, it's kind of like a vacation. You got to make a plan to get there. It's the Harry Potter celebration in Universal Orlando. They're going to have a lot of the cast from the films are going to be there. They just confirmed today that the actress who played Ginny Weasley is going to be there. So it's going to be kind of a cool thing. So
Oh, Bonnie, she's sweet.
Bonnie, yes. So those are some of the conventions that you have coming up right now, between now and the end of the year. So we try to like spread it out. Oh, what's this? Oh, there's Derek. Nobody can see it, but
That's fine. We're looking at it.
anyways, we're looking at the. Here's Derek's. Derek's. I forgot what the name of his thing is, but anyways. So this is what we're going to talk about right now. First up, Justice League. Justice League. And Carrie,
I haven't seen it,
you have not seen it, and
but it's okay. You guys can talk about it.
and Anthony, do we have a spoiler warning that we can like?
I can.
I like your version, Jim.
Oh, hey.
See, no, there's a real
There
one.
it
These
is.
guys
Oh,
are
it's out of
legit
there.
here.
Lights and everything.
Yeah, but also if you guys want to see more of Justice League discussion, go watch another
about-
Popcorn Talk Popcorn Talk Network show, Box Office Breakdown. We talked about it last night and definitely ruffled some feathers with the
Well, tell
opinions.
us a little bit about what were the feathers that were ruffled.
Everybody thinks the villain was lame.
I'm not going to disagree with that.
Well, the thing is, apparently, just having that much hate against the movie made DC fans very upset and felt we were all drinking the Marvel Kool-Aid and stuff.
Correction, Carrie. It's so much hate against a DC movie, not just any movie. It's just
Oh, okay, a DC, yes. The DC fans were very upset.
Yes.
DC fans
no,
don't get upset
I
when
would
you're mad at Wonder.
Right, yeah. Now, I would say everybody, because I mean, I hadn't seen it, but I think how everyone brought the points of the things they didn't like was fine. And it's very much like they had good examples. It wasn't just, I hate the movie, it sucked, which I think is a horrible way to do that. Because it's like, no, give me reasons. Everybody had good reasons. But apparently how passionate they were about them, the fans like go, and also you guys, just for entertainment, go read the comments. It's very colorful. We'll say that.
The black hole of comments.
Yes. Oh, I laughed at
rabbit
them
hole.
this morning. And I'm like, haha. But then there
And-
were some good ones. I'm all like,
My chair just sunk.
you're like, I shrunk. But yeah.
Definitely not safe for work comments, right?
Yes, there were some
Many of
definitely
them.
not safe for work ones. I was busy all weekend, so I didn't get a chance to see it. I want to, and then it's funny. I'm like, yeah, I didn't see Batman vs Superman first, and they're like, well, you don't have to. I'm like,
Well, here's the deal. I saw.
I'll probably watch it later though.
Let me describe my. I did see Justice League
I
Twice.
saw Justice League.
twice. I've seen it
Twice.
twice. If that
All of
tells you
you?
anything,
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
Wait,
We
we
gave
saw-
them our money. We're half the money they got.
Why don't you guys have Movie Pass? Not sponsored.
That's
I know.
why. Okay,
That's what
Oh.
we've been hearing.
we saw with
This
Jay
guy did.
today,
Yeah.
and he says you guys got to get Movie Pass.
Yes, it's amazing.
But
And we're-
luckily today we saw it for only like $9.
No, it was
you
like
could have seen it
less
for
than
free.
But look-
I actually cracked in my movie pass for Justice League.
Yay!
My first one was
Thank God.
Thor Ragnarok was my first movie pass.
For some reason, I
Nice.
didn't think you could use your Movie Pass on first-run movies. I thought you had to wait
Anything.
like 3 weeks.
The only rule is once a day, and like almost all theaters accept it too.
And then once per movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
How much is
Oh,
it?
you can only see the movie one time?
One
Yes.
time,
Oh,
yeah.
I don't
It's
think
like
I knew
$10 a
that.
month.
Well,
10 bucks a month.
About the same as
Yeah.
Netflix or
And
Hulu.
actually-
I'm doing this.
Right now they have a deal that if you sign up for a year, it's $6.95.
Get out of here! I'm doing it.
Right now, hold on, pause the
Pause
show.
on-
You have to
You
do
are
it through your
signing up.
phone because
Sign
you
up
have to
for
get the
real
app.
time.
I will say the app is not amazingly user friendly though. It can be like a little buggy, and you can't reserve your ticket ahead of time. So there is no like,
Oh.
we know we want to go on this day, this time. You just go at that time. I do it where
You buy your ticket online?
no.
No.
Oh.
No.
You have to be within 100 yards of the theater.
You remember
have
you
your
watched me
location on
literally
and be
push
like,
the movie
I'm here. Check
2
in.
minutes
Oh, that's right.
before we bought it.
That's
I was
right.
like, okay.
Jake was with me
it's like,
today,
I'm
he
waiting
had to-
until you guys
Yeah.
here on time. Boom.
Bam.
There
Yeah.
we go. All right. Justice League.
So let me give you a little bit of background on Justice League. It opened, they were expecting on the low end 110, on the high end around 135. It came in at first at around 98 to 96. It has since been adjusted down to 94 million. So,
Womp womp.
but let me tell you something.
Sort of.
And
In
with this,
what universe is 94 million? Not a whole lot of cash. It's all I'm
because
gonna
they
say.
spent probably so much making it.
I think it was like 300.
That was the estimates.
Yeah.
With the whole kit and caboodle of reshoots, about 300
Yeah.
million, something like that.
Yeah.
And also, that's the funny thing is like you spend that much money to do special effects, and then people complain about a lot of the special effects being like too glossy or looking unfinished or something.
Because they're done probably 3 months.
Okay, here's the deal.
we have a question from a viewer
Yes.
regarding
Yes.
this
Yes.
particular topic. This is from Spinning Art. They say, do you think DC should have smaller budgets like Fox has done recently for their comic book movies? Now the Justice League has had to lower returns than expected. Has had lower returns than expected.
You know what they should? Because they should try something different.
I agree.
Yeah.
Like,
100%.
why
This
not?
goes into
Why
this
not?
goes into like how Fox has done. Your Deadpool is a meta comedy. Your Logan is a western, and now
Yeah.
the New Mutants
a
trailer.
horror.
is
Oh
everyone
my
see
gosh,
that?
it
yeah,
looks amazing.
That's like a self-contained horror movie, but it's
Yes.
a X-Men movie.
No, I think it's
so,
Yeah.
you know,
100% right. And like how Marvel, they did, like, look at the Marvel Netflix shows, which are very low budget shows. At least they have been up to this point. And they're probably the best thing Marvel has on television. They are the best thing Marvel has on television. What am I talking about? They don't have a lot. But I think those are almost better than some of the Marvel films that we've seen recently from, Fox at least. Luke, what were you about to say?
We have another question, but that's for later.
Okay.
I mean, it is in this, but we'll eventually get there.
But listen,
We'll come back to that.
But let me
We'll come back to this one here.
But here's the
You
deal.
can see
So, $94 million opening weekend, which is a lot below what they were expecting. And so we're going to talk just for briefly, why do we think that happened? Let's take into account the Rotten Tomato scores, if that really affected it, because they didn't release the Rotten Tomato scores until
day of.
day
right?
of. Yeah, they wouldn't release it. And go
I
ahead.
haven't seen it, but I would say most of the people's fears about going in is probably because how much Batman Superman disappointed people.
Yeah, I agree.
It was kind of a 1-2 punch from last year.
And Suicide Squad.
When you don't have Patty Jenkins' name on that, it's a bit like, I don't know.
Yeah.
The thing is,
Yeah.
like, Wonder Woman was such an anomaly right now in the Warner Brothers DC universe because it was so good. It was, and I guess it was good. I think it was great, but then again, I'm comparing it to the rest of the universe, and I'm not hating on the universe because was one of the few people that did not hate Batman versus Superman. I didn't hate it. There's a lot of it I didn't like, but there's a whole lot of it I did like.
Martha.
I did not. I did not like the standalone.
You love that.
There was more to that scene than what you're giving it, although it did come across quite silly. But I did not like this.
I like the Step Brothers memes of that moment.
I didn't like the return of.
Do we just
What
become
was the-
best friends?
What was the Superman standalone? Was that Return of Superman? Superman Returns? What was it?
Man of Steel.
With-
Man of
Man of
Steel.
Yeah, you were
So
referencing
many-
the Bryan Singer one.
No. The Man of Steel, I did not like. The scene when his dad gets sucked up in the tornado, that ruined it for me. He could have saved him right there.
4-year-old spoiler, by the way.
Oh, it's 4 years
That's
ago.
the same, like, I don't know
Spoiler
if I
alert,
catch
spoiler
that one,
alert.
but-
But my first experience watching Justice League was Friday night. Our friend Brad, who I'm going to call out, snuck in a bottle of what was
Something.
it? Something. Let's just say that because we were not
As
expecting.
a potent fragrance.
It's called movie juice.
It was movie
Yes.
juice. We were not expecting the best movie going experience.
Well, he's making comments on here too of why.
Okay, anyways, so I just wanted to say, I am so glad Brad brought it in, but I was tired, and let's just say,
Makes you sleepy.
I fully enjoyed the movie that night. But-
So much so it put him to sleep.
Yeah, it put me to sleep. I had to go back and see it today. So.
I did have a friend say she fell asleep multiple times watching it though.
But it was late. It was late. We saw the 11:30
she was
showing.
bored.
Really?
I missed about half the movie because I was like nudging him, like, "Hey, we were talking about this on Monday.
We
Wake
talked
up!"
about this Monday. Wake up! Wake up! So I remembered like today or yesterday or something. I was like, did we see enough of it to talk about it? He goes, no, we gotta go see it again. I'm like,
Oh,
dang it.
no.
So
Matinee.
I'm gonna say,
But it's only 2-hour running
I
time.
am
It's not a 3-hour
yeah.
movie.
So
So,
we get because the studio put that restriction on them. It could not go over 2 hours. All right.
Great.
What you guys? Okay. First impressions. What's the good? What's the good things you guys liked about this movie?
The good. The good is the actors' camaraderie. I think. I thought one of the things that I wanted more from Batman versus Superman was more screen time between the characters talking. So when you had Affleck, Cavill, and Gadot just talking at the end about how to defeat this monster, I was like, I'm so entertained right now. And this was way more of that, along with the 3 new characters, plus Ezra Miller, Jason Momoa. I think all the hero cast is great. And if your complaint is that you don't like the villain, it's like, well, isn't that better than hating the heroes? Because that's what we've had with DC movies in the past right now. So I want to see more of them as a team. I like them a lot. That's why I like them.
There was 2 particular characters that were standouts to me that I really enjoyed. The Flash a lot. Like it was like a new type of humor that was just brought into this, because it's ever since, I don't know, like Nolan was kind of like not directing and stuff. It's just gone this route where it's like a little too serious and gazing off and looking pretty kind of stuff. But
dark
the Flash,
and slow motion.
Yeah, but Flash really was funny. There was one of my favorite scenes in it. Can I? Spoiler alert again.
Well, he already gave a spoiler.
It's the part where he's going by and then like no one can
Yes.
usually see him, but then like
running
Superman
as
like
fast as he
slowly
can
his
behind
eye
Superman.
like just watches him, and then he's like, oh my
This
gosh,
is the
he can
best
see
scene.
me.
It's the best moment of the movie.
That was
Like,
so funny.
The most powerful being in the universe can move as fast as me.
Yeah,
oh
I was hoping I
no.
could share
Anthony,
what
yeah.
I have for the good. Well, overall, I think the good was like the action scenes and like the fighting, because like Zack Snyder always carries like that impact, you know, when like when he punches Batman, and he just hits a car, like it's so epic feeling. But that Flash and Superman scene really did it for me.
I think
It was
Flash
so
and
good.
Superman and even
Aquaman was my other. I
Aquaman was
really
great.
enjoyed him as well.
and that was the music we were playing.
And when he
tonight,
was
like-
sitting on Wonder Woman's the rope.
When he was sitting on Wonder Woman's lasso, that
The
was
lasso,
a super
yeah.
funny scene. He was telling all these truths, and he didn't. Why am I telling all this stuff?
So, Frank on Box Office Breakdown complained about how when they're underwater they had air bubbles when they talked. Because I was like, wait, Little Mermaid? Nope, they don't have air bubbles when they talk.
Well, they also had a field of air when they create a field of, because they're Atlanteans. So
Yeah,
they
but
can
they're
control the
talking when they're
water.
talking underwater.
They had him
Well,
in
otherwise it's
Pinocchio,
gonna be
though,
like,
didn't they?
No, apparently they can talk underwater. It's fine.
All right.
What about Pinocchio? I mean, they had bubbles, right? Like, they can have even
Yeah,
kind
but
of
see,
that bubbly
he's not an
talking.
underwater creature.
Did he
I can't do
breathe?
it.
So okay,
I know that's very off
bring us
topic,
back. Let's
but-
bring it back to
Rewind.
Justice League. So
Justice.
probably $94 million worth of people went to see the movie.
Yes.
Not all of them
That's a funny
enjoyed the
way of
movie.
putting
There has been. It's got a 40% Rotten Tomatoes. Do you think it deserves that?
No. I've seen far worse superhero movies, and I've seen far worse movies too. I think that's kind of a bit much.
Yeah, it's fun. I watched it twice, and I could watch it again tonight if I wanted to.
I did too. My second time when I was fully aware, I liked it even more than when I was having a rollicking good time on Friday night. No, I did not hate this movie. I actually liked it a whole lot more than I thought I was going to like it. And then Tom Parham, who's a very frequent guest on the show here, he is a very staunch critic of what DC has done recently with the comic book universe. He really liked it.
Yeah.
And so I said, wait, if Tom liked it, I think I might like it. And then I went and slept through the first one, and I liked it. But I liked it a whole lot today when I saw it. I mean, it's not, I can't yet say that it's getting to where it needs to be, but it's compared to where it's been, it's
They
lot
had a lot
better.
of stories to tell, like in a short time. They did a good job kind of cutting back between characters at the beginning and the end, where they're kind of telling quick things of like setting up the characters, and then at the end, kind of setting up them and their individual worlds and all that at the very end. I thought
Kind
that
of
was
showing,
pretty
kind of
cool.
teasing you what these movies, when they are released, are gonna be
Yeah,
about. For
right.
especially for Flash, a little bit of Aquaman, but
Yeah.
yeah. It's kind of fun when you're watching it. One of the fun things is just trying to pick apart and say like, okay, what was reshot and what was a part of principal photography, and kind
Right.
of matching that up. And a lot of people are complaining about the digital Henry Cavill stash removal thing, in which because
Is that a
of-
thing?
Because
Yeah, like
because
what-
of because
I did not
Paramount
know
would not
this.
let him shave his mustache for Mission Impossible 6. He had to leave it on, and so they did the reshoot scenes, and they had to digitally erase it. Why they didn't buy something
That's
from?
what that was about.
Yes, so there were a couple of shots where
Shiny face.
Now, I think the special effects artists were really smart because there's a couple of scenes where the background is very much green screened in to kind of distract you from your lead character's face that is on camera at the moment. But
It's like the old Adam West Joker, right?
yes,
They
exactly. Cesar Romero painting on the white makeup.
Exactly.
Yeah. But I mean, like a couple of times it's like Amy Adams' hair looks much redder in this scene than in
did.
the previous scene, and Ben Affleck looks different. Just different. like he's been off working on
Okay,
something
okay,
else.
let's talk. Okay, we all agree that this movie is not a disaster. We all agree that it's a fun movie, that it was a pretty good movie. From the perspective of the convention circuit, it's been kind of teased for 3 or 4 years. I remember it was like 3 years ago. Was it 3 years ago, or maybe even 4, where they teased Superman versus
That was right after Man of Steel. That was literally the Comic-Con after Man of
Okay,
Steel.
so it's like 3 years ago then. But they teased it for two years, and then they finally got, Batman versus Superman. We finally got Suicide Squad. But they've been kind of leading towards this through all these conventions and everything. And I gotta tell you, it's on the convention circuit, especially in San Diego, it's been the big showstopper of the whole entire 4-day event. It's the thing that people want to see. So the anticipation was really high. Mm-hmm. I am surprised it didn't do better business on opening weekend. But I don't know. I think going into
Thanksgiving's coming up.
this is a great week for them to gain.
It's a lot of days off from work. It's a lot of days with family. So after day 2 with family, if you want to go see a movie, I recommend this one.
I'm going to dispel that real quick and just say Coco.
Coco?
Yes,
You're
I'm
voting
gonna
for
say Coco.
Coco?
I do
Coco
think
vote?
Coco, a film which has nearly 100% reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. I think it's at 94 right now. It's being called one of Pixar's very best films, the best since Toy Story 3, which
Oh,
was
gosh.
a monument.
So I'm going to cry during Coco.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Yep. Probably this. But somebody I know, they were saying how some people are concerned because like, oh, it's too similar to Book of Life, and she's like, the concept of Day of the Dead's about the only thing that's the same. Like, it's all right. Don't worry.
Did you
I'm
see
like,
this
okay.
comment from Brad?
Well, I'm also reading his comments on here. He did have a question.
What he said, he has a question right after he yelled out "aqua nipples." I think he's talking about Jason Momoa, by the way. I'm not trying to
Probably,
be
yeah.
obscene.
He's saying aqua nipples. And
I don't even know what that means.
Aquaman being
Now
shirtless?
17 people are watching after you said nipples.
They stopped. What was
So-
Brad's question?
His question, where is he? Okay. Do you think they should have killed Ben Affleck in this one or paid him less?
Well, we cannot say whether or not Batman lives or dies. It's a big spoiler, but yeah, maybe they should have. But no, you can't,
He's not. He's not.
okay, let's go into the things that we. No, I kind of like Ben Affleck.
I like Bale a lot more as Bruce Wayne, especially.
The thing that it hurts
but
this
he's not-
movie is that the trilogy that Christopher Nolan has is so monumentally good.
Yeah.
That everything else that follows in his footsteps is going to suffer. And I think that Warner Brothers is trying their best to get out of the shadow of that. And they're just. Anything that Joss Whedon touches is not going to be a Christopher Nolan. They're different styles. Christopher Nolan is almost humorless, but he's very deep, very artsy, very, whatever you call that. And,
Grounded, psychological, much
Yeah.
locked into a certain point of
and
view.
Zack Snyder,
exploring
Joss
all
Whedon
that.
combined is so otherworldly, so big and that's there you go.
Yeah, it's two effects. They just don't match. They just match up.
But
They're just
let's
different
talk about the things
interpretations.
that we did not like about this film before we move on. What did you not like?
What did you not like?
The CGI.
That's what everybody's talking about.
Everyone's talking about the
is
CGI. I tried my best to see the bad CGI today. Which,
with the
Anthony,
villain-
which parts are you talking about?
I think Kansas
All
is
right,
a
let's
bit.
see.
There's a one point where they're standing in a beautiful studio cornfield.
Oh,
Yes,
that
I
was
know. I was talking
ridiculous,
about
yeah.
that during. I'm like, really? They
It's
can't
like
go
certain
to like a
shots.
golden hour
It's like
sunset?
a beautiful stalks of grain grown in a Leavesden studio.
I guess
Yeah.
at the end, the big battle at the nuclear power plant seemed kind of cartoony. Like those special effects seemed like they weren't done yet. Like all those big crystal arches growing out of the ground and killing everybody or whatever they were doing. That seemed like a cartoon. I did not like that part so much.
Alien flowers. Did you like the alien flowers?
Oh, I did not get what was happening. All of a sudden, I don't ruin it too much, but like, what's up with all the flowers growing? At the end?
Carrie, there's alien flowers.
Yeah.
Goodness.
I did not get what that was supposed to mean.
I
I
think
just know
because
the property rate went up big
it
time
sure
in that
did.
area.
Okay,
so
wait.
that family's living condition
Yeah.
just skyrocketed.
Here's what I did
because
not
now
like
they
about-
can have alien crops.
Here's what I did not like about the
alien pollens.
Cyborg.
Cyborg.
What
okay.
a-
Go on.
What a terribly boring character, Luke. Because you were
Yeah,
talking.
this was my main thing to talk about too. But yeah, because it's like he's supposedly like a football player and all this, like, and has been around people, but then he acts like someone that's like never been around people and has no sense of humor, like never like patted somebody on the shoulder because it's like Flash is like, yeah, fist bump, and he's like, like doesn't like he played football and
Doesn't know how to do a fist bump.
You think they'd bring some of that youthfulness of like he's kind of young and all that, but he was like the most serious person you've ever met in your entire life.
He was here as a guest too.
Was he really?
Ray
He came on
Fisher?
for,
Yeah.
And he
Can
probably
I
had
take
a lot of
over, Carrie?
personality.
Which show?
I actually covered both of the shows. So it was for one for BHL, and it was what is it? Conversations with BHL, I believe, and that was with Ben Bateman. And he also did the following one for Popcorn Talks, DC Movie News, and that was with Roxy, Adam Gertler, and Mike Kalinowski.
We got to book better guests. Gosh. But
I think he's the
defend himself.
it is not his fault. No,
he's the
So that'd be
character
how he's
that
written.
Yeah, it's not his fault.
he's the character that suffered the most from not having a movie previous to
Yeah.
this team up movie because I was trying to explain to my wife who he was. She's like, I've never heard of this person. Who is?
Oh, I followed him in the Teen. He was one of the Teen Titans. He was
Right,
one of my
right.
favorite characters growing up.
But everyone-
and he was never this boring.
Everyone knows Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and then like Marvel had the blessing of getting their movies where they could
Right.
show you who Thor was and show you who the B characters were that you didn't care about and then make you care about them, and this was one who could have definitely benefited from that. I think Aquaman too, but definitely Cyborg for sure.
Oh, I liked Aquaman. He was just funny. He was good. He seemed like a full character. And Luke, there was somebody else that you weren't particularly fond of. Who was it?
Well, wait, the villain?
Is that who you said you didn't? Cyborg you didn't like so much, and then
Well, with the villain, I didn't like it was all CGI. I kind of like, I don't know. I think it's a little stronger when you have a villain that has a face, you know.
he had a face.
I mean, he has a face, but it was all CGI, which I can, and they haven't gotten to the point yet where it looks real.
I thought it was one of the worst villains. I love the name Steppenwolf. What a great
Yeah.
name for a villain. I mean, he's known in the comic books, and he was just.
And Batman could have been a little more personality. I mean, we've talked about that, and, you know, Brad's on here. And that's part of the reason we had the whiskey in the first place, but
Brad brought the whiskey.
Movie juice.
terrible.
Movie juice.
It was such a boring villain. I mean, he was super powerful, and he's the precursor to one
But
of
he
my
was a little
He
favorite
had an
villains.
axe. He had an axe. An axe for swinging. And he hit people with it.
Well, he needed a personality. Is what he needed. Get rid of the axe, grab a personality. The best villains are fun a little bit though. They have
So wait, who is your ultimate favorite that you said this leads to? And my favorite.
he's got like the precursor to one of my most ultimate favorite villains in the DC universe, who was Darkseid. Darks, and he mentioned Darkseid once. So
Or
this
Dark
is.
Side. That's what he said.
He said, "What did he say?"
He just
For
said-
Darkseid.
For
That's
Darkseid.
all he says.
So like he's like all these little demon things, and this is a precursor to bigger things to come in this universe, in this joint universe. Hopefully they keep it together, because I think this is a step in the right direction. So that's. I didn't mind the CGI so much. I had a hard in typical DC fashion. I had a hard time a little bit figuring out the mashup of what was happening with the boxes, pull them apart, put them together. What's that guy want to do? What's happening here? I didn't know all that was happening except for end of the world. I guess that's all I needed to know. End of the world, beginning of the world, something like that.
I guess you also had they were at a disadvantage because with the Avengers you had a whole movie of Captain America telling you what the Tesseract was, and
Yeah.
then that went into the Avengers, and same with like Loki had a bit more motivation because
This
he had a
is-
whole other movie with Thor before going into the Avengers.
You know, this is just like Infinity War that's about to come up.
This reminded me a lot of Age of Ultron, quite honestly,
Oh, yeah,
because
yeah.
there are a couple of
Also, people didn't like Ultron as a villain. Too.
Yeah.
Nope.
A
True.
CGI villain.
I will say, like, for people who don't know if they want to see this movie, if you enjoyed watching Age of Ultron, which a lot of people think is probably one of the weaker Marvel movies,
Yep.
then you'll probably enjoy this one. And I didn't mind Age of Ultron. I kind of enjoyed it, but there are
Yeah,
a couple
it's
scenes
fine.
where like that reminded me.
I like some
that.
of it. I
Yeah.
did like
Yeah.
some of Age of Ultron. I liked a lot. I'm an eternal optimist. I like almost everything.
I was gonna say, me too. Most movies, I'm like, I can generally get by. There's very few where I'm like, I hated it.
Oh yeah, it's got to be really bad for me not to
Though,
like
like
it.
Iron
Young
Fist
Guns
was
2,
really
hated
hard
it.
to get.
Which Iron Fist and what was your
Iron,
Young Guns 2.
Young Guns
Said-
2?
said Iron
go on
Fist
all
was a
sorts of
Marvel
tangents
show,
on this
and it was
show.
so painful to get.
It's the only movie I ever walked out of.
You walked out of.
Kids,
When was
back in
that?
the early '90s, there was an actor named Emilio Estevez.
I just came away.
in a movie called Young Guns
Love that.
2 with Kiefer Sutherland.
I
It
like
was
the
a
first one.
western
The first
you
one's
like-
good.
cowboys.
One of our viewers, by the way, was defending the cyborg. Well, he's at least trying to explain it. Crisp3333, he lost his body almost completely. That is why Cyborg behaves like that. Didn't you see him explain that? I guess he.
So I guess the idea is he
kind of
doesn't really
explained-
have his heart anymore.
He lost his
so-
personality, I guess, in the explosion.
Well, you don't.
But
No, I understand what Chris is saying.
Yeah.
It's a good point. It's a valid point. Like, he's not fully in control of who he is. In the comic books, he was a great character. He's one of my ultimate favorite characters. He had a lot of personality. He could cry. He could laugh. And he was funny. He was like, who's the green guy who...
Could say booyah.
Booyah!
Oh, he said
Beast
booyah
Boy.
at least?
Beast Boy.
yeah.
Beast Boy.
Beast
thank
Boy.
you.
Beast Boy, yeah.
Yeah.
He's gonna be like Drax in like the next one, where they're gonna like make him super big and bigger
No,
personality.
I hope he
like
does
the
get bigger.
Guardians.
But like what you said, they should have played on the fact that he was a football player. He's an athlete.
Yeah.
He was like leader of the jocks. He had personality.
Well, there was
He was
obviously
only
some
mad.
football scene that was cut because you looked at one of the original trailers and there's football footage. So it'd be
Are you serious?
Yeah, it'd be fascinating to see some of the scenes that didn't make the final
Well,
cut of the movie.
Speaking of which,
Yeah.
we're gonna move on here. But like, there is a fans campaign that has been launched for Zack Snyder's director's cut to be released. It probably won't get much traction, but it is out there. If you guys
Maybe
want to
on
go
the
look,
DVD.
maybe.
Maybe an Ultimate Edition alternate thing.
Yeah.
Who knows?
BVS got that same treatment of like, because I remember seeing that.
They got the
extended
additional
edition.
30 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like 3 hours long.
I bought that one. It's good, by the way. If you haven't seen it, I recommend.
And this one was kept to 2 hours.
2 hours,
They could
yeah.
not go over 2 hours, and I think it benefited from that. And one of the rumors that is coming out is that perhaps Affleck may not be long for this world. Like, that sounds terrible. For this particular
Universe.
this fictional world. Ben Affleck is not sick. Let's not start
What
that.
are you planning, Jim?
No. But apparently,
Brad's getting in his head.
it's a joint. It's a
But
joint.
he's not
I have
the
read
best
that too.
Batman,
Yes. Yes.
I don't know if
Yeah.
that's true or not. I am not hating Ben Affleck for saying that. I have enjoyed Ben Affleck. I did not like his bat suit this so much. It looked more like
He's these
like
little short little
1950s
horn
rubber
things.
suit. I didn't quite like that. And plus, he was like a suit of armor. He could barely move. He was like, "Oh, I'm going to chase you after I can move this leg." And it just
This is an actual line of dialogue from the film, by the way.
One of the other complaints was how Batman in this was less intelligent than he normally is, because normally, like, when he fights, he'll have like
strategy
50
upon
strategy and so many steps ahead. But this one is just like punch, punch, dodge, punch, punch. Not really like elaborate. Mm-hmm. Would you say
There was-
that's the
He did a
case?
good job shooting down the base thing, like when he kind of went in alone, like he took the guard down. And
although he
all that
was the one who
stuff.
put the team together. He saw
Yeah.
the danger coming. Him and Alfred were figuring out, and he went and gathered everybody, which I like. But
If you interpret strategy as a
really
means of
rich.
control in a world full of chaos, this is a Batman who is giving up control to allow people into his life.
Okay.
But I-
like, ooh,
he's rich,
so,
though.
So
he
deep.
But
is
he is
rich.
rich.
He is rich, and I
He's
do
rich.
like the way that
It's a
Wonder
superpower.
I do like the way that Wonder Woman has kind of emerged as the leader.
True.
Yeah.
It's the passing of the torch, and because she has more heart, and I like.
Better warrior.
She's just a
She
better
was built
everything.
for that.
And the scenes on Paradise Island were amazing. They were very good. I hope they one of these days make a movie that really deals with like the history of like the mythological history of Wonder Woman and the Atlanteans and everything, because that's good stuff.
Might make a great sci-fi TV show.
Oh.
So doing Krypton, maybe to do Themyscira as a
I
TV
thought
show.
Krypton was supposed to already have been. Has it not started yet? No. Huh, it's coming on Sci-Fi. All right. So, anything else on Justice League before we wrap that up and move on to?
Yes.
Yes.
This movie is completely unfair to Jesse Eisenberg. This poor man shaved his head for 2 scenes of Batman vs Superman. Henry Cavill goes a whole half movie with a digitally erased mustache. Do you think he felt shafted after that, having to shave his whole head for 2 scenes in Batman vs Superman?
Oh.
Don't you think if he comes back, he's like, hey, can you just cavill my hair? Cavill my hair,
Oh,
please.
it's a new thing now.
I'm not
huh?
going to shave my head again for, Justice League versus Injustice League.
You could also
whatever.
use it for Cavill my clothes.
Cavill my.
What's up
Yes.
with Henry Cavill going for half his screen time with no shirt on? I'm sure most of the ladies would just love that, but that was so ridiculous.
That's so they could, that was Amy Adams' contract.
That was digital too. I heard he was originally wearing a shirt
All right,
or the Superman outfit. That's all digital.
thumbs up or thumbs down? Would you recommend people to see this movie or not?
Yeah.
I
I'd
would
give
too.
it, yeah.
I would too. I know a lot of the Marvel
It's on my list to
all the
do.
Marvel DC haters are going to be on our case about that. Like, no, you need to hate it. I love Marvel films. I absolutely love Marvel films. Thor, in my opinion, is far and away better than this film. but that does not make this film bad. This is a very good film.
Thor is much more distinct. There's a lot
Yes.
very memorable things about that movie that you're just like, I've never seen that before in a comic book movie. This
and
one,
I've met some people who hate Thor. So, was that you?
no.
Okay. All right. We are moving on because we don't have a lot of time to San Diego Comic-Con, because San Diego Comic-Con has it's in a weird kind of way, it's already here. And I'm going to read through. It's kind of weird the way all these registration deadlines have already happened. Usually we get at least past the new year before we start hitting all these big deadlines. For example, professional registration was a few weeks ago on October 11th.
Gone.
I am so glad I got my pass. Press registration is already closed.
Gone.
Returning registration was on October 28th. You had about a 50% chance of getting in then. And for those of you who don't know, returning registration is if, you've been before. I guess I didn't need to explain that. But then open registration, which is for anybody who has not yet gotten in, is coming up, they say, in December. So it probably looks like it's going to be about the second weekend of December. They've been making announcements, get ready. And also the hotel sale might be coming up in December, which is ridiculous. Hotel sale is usually just weeks out from the actual convention. So it's kind of weird.
And this is 9 months, eight or 9 months.
Well, it's
Yeah.
nice to know the hotel now so you can better plan.
Oh, the early bird hotel sale is already open. So you can already get your hotel for Comic-Con.
You can just do Hotwire just outside of that area and find cheaper hotels.
She is like
But
the
you drive
money-saving maven here. It's kind of great. But you can drive in. I've driven in for many years.
And I found parking at Comic-Con.
Of course you have.
For free.
And we are taping the show on November 20th. I'm saying that because today on November 20th, WonderCon badges have gone on sale.
Ooh.
So
I love
though,
WonderCon.
usually WonderCon...
75 for the 3-day, I think.
Yep. And usually when WonderCon badges go on sale, very quickly thereafter, they wrap up all the other badge sales and hotel sales and parking, unless you park for free, parking for San Diego Comic-Con. So I just wanted to put that out there. All these things have already happened. So be watching our site, be paying attention to... There's a couple of great sites to watch. Crazy for Comic-Con. Crazy, number 4, Comic-Con is a site that you can watch to keep up with it. An Englishman in San Diego is a great site. The San Diego Comic-Con unofficial blog is another great site. And of course, us. We've got everything covered. But I would suggest people to get your group. If you plan on trying to get in, you don't have your tickets yet, get your group for getting your tickets during open registration. So much better if you have a group of people.
Yes.
Because if one of you guys get in, you can get the others in.
Yep.
So, anything else? I know I'm kind of speeding through the San Diego Comic-Con stuff, but really all we have are deadlines right now. Open registration is coming up very, very soon. Volunteers, I think volunteers...
Yeah,
I think that one's passed as well.
That might have.
I don't quote me on that. I think giving your...
Check on their website.
Yeah, giving your interest is passed, but they haven't assigned volunteer duties yet.
Cool.
Whew. All right. And then hotel
Which
sale.
that's gotten more crazy. I did that 10 years ago, and it wasn't as tooth and nail to
Volunteering?
get it. I did I think I did 3 years volunteering with Comic-Con.
What was your favorite part about volunteering? That sounds kind of
Being
fun.
with celebrities, because there was the different things you could pick, and I was I picked talent escort, where you were...
Of course.
Which that sounds so wait, what? No, you kept track of time, where they were, pick them up at the loading dock area, wherever they got dropped off, or at their hotel, and
These people are very
guided them.
sleep deprived. They need people to guide them around and tell them where to be.
Well, it was secret routes, behind the doors. They don't. There's hallways you can take that are behind,
the hallways.
behind the hallways, secret people within the walls. Kind of idea to get from A to B and not walk through, convention hall area. So there was that, and so I got pretty much everybody I wanted. I was like, I want this person, this, and nobody fought me for it. So I was like, really? Okay. So I had the guys from Trek 1 year, which was awesome. I got Stan Lee multiple years.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
can we
So
touch
that
you?
was
Can we
my,
touch you? Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Which way, Carrie? Which way? This
Oh,
way?
he
Okay, thank you.
he's a
Thank you.
fast walker.
Is he
He's
really?
Really?
Yeah, he's a speedy walker.
My grandpa was the same way. He just jet through Target,
Yeah,
and
he's
then he'd
like-
be dead 2
Stanley's
hours
more about
later,
Which way,
super
Carrie?
tired.
Which way are we going? If it's this way, is it that way? Where are we going? I'll go to
Pretty
the
much.
panel. Yeah.
So yeah, and then I made sure to get Stan multiple years, and I have a few photos with, and then it was cool because then meeting them, they were doing the documentary about him, and then they were like, "Here, you want to work on the documentary?" So dust the shoulders off.
And you did?
Yeah,
Oh, silly question.
I did, and then I went 1 year simply just to help with the screening for the documentary too. I drove all the
Awesome.
way down just for the screening, hung out hung out a little bit afterwards, and like went back.
Awesome.
And can I just say something?
So it was fun.
Just to tease our second to the last segment, which we're gonna. I am thankful that Stan Lee is still with us.
Right?
Yes.
I get
Thankful.
nervous every time. I'm like,
Every time
Yes.
someone puts it on Facebook, Stan Lee, I'm like, no, because
well, that's like anytime someone's trending on Twitter, like Harrison Ford was trending, and people are like, but no, it's
No,
because he helped
he
someone.
helped someone. Yeah, he saved someone in
Yeah,
a traffic
but you
accident.
see anybody
or he
trend-
caused it by landing his plane in the middle of the interstate.
No. He saved someone from the most recent thing was he helped someone during a traffic accident. So
Oh my
makes
gosh.
you nervous. You're like, yeah, no. Anytime I've seen names trend on Twitter, and you're like, no, please don't let them be dead.
Stan Lee loves pickles. Thank goodness.
So speaking of San Diego Comic-Con, we're going to transition. We have a little bit of news this week. One of the big pieces of news that out of you guys remember this past year at
Just was gonna ask you about that.
San Diego Comic-Con, we got the boxes, we got our badges.
Oh wait, no,
delivered.
not that.
Oh.
The Salt Lake.
Oh, the Salt Lake thing is kind of cool too. But you know how we got our badges mailed to you in this cool
Yes.
collectors,
It was amazing.
sponsored by. It was Comic-Con HQ, the streaming service that Comic-Con has,
Ah.
which is now no more.
Oh.
Kind of, which sucks. I mean, no.
Well, I don't feel so bad because I tried to be a host on that and I didn't get it.
Oh,
So now I'm like, well, I'm not around anyway.
well, it's kind of around, but kind of not. Like Lionsgate
It's
has,
not.
Yeah, Lionsgate is pulled out. It's no. My billing has been ceased. They no longer charge me because I was
Oh yeah,
not
it's
a member. I
subscriber.
was a subscriber. Yeah.
Oh, you can
yeah.
use that for MoviePass now.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, it was only $5.
Oh,
But
Well,
they
remember
have-
for the year. You
Huh?
can do the year for the $6.95.
yeah.
Wait, oh, for Movie Pass?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a thing where if you buy a year, regular people it's $9.90. Like I signed up as $9.90.
Sponsored by
No,
Movie Pass
not
this
sponsored.
week.
We talked about it on Box Office Breakdown a lot, and we're always like, not sponsored by. No, and so you could do it that way.
But the thing is, I loved having Comic-Con HQ. They always promised they were going to have the bigger panels on there and some of the cool panels. And I think they never really got a lot of panels on Comic-Con HQ. I enjoyed Con Man, which was on there. Kings of Con, which was on there. They had all these movies on there. It was a fun service, but now I guess you can only get it from Amazon. Amazon has some channels, and they're going to have a Comic-Con HQ channel, which they're going to be taking over. I don't know how much original programming they'll have on there. They'll probably have just library stuff.
For Prime members or
I don't know. I've been trying to find out. Once I find out, I will know. But it just says, here we go. Judging from recent reviews of the channel on Amazon channels, Lionsgate catalog, something that didn't really. So they're going to be on the Amazon channels. Oh, okay. We're going to have to speed it up. I can talk really fast.
No, it's just that there's essentially a lawsuit kind of thing going on between Salt Lake City Comic Con
Yep.
and SDCC, and SDCC is claiming ownership of the term
Comic-Con.
Comic-Con,
Right.
which is kind of stupid because so many other cons around the country use that too. But I forget the news, but there was new news about that.
The new news is that the court has cleared Salt Lake. Well, both parties, they can now discuss it on social media because they were barred from even talking about it.
There we go.
And so now they can talk about it. And so you can bet they will be. I heard that
Oh, yeah.
the directors of Salt Lake Comic-Con, they're actually going to start a GoFundMe campaign to raise money to help cover the
Oh,
legal
their
fees.
legal fees are like
$1 million so
Yeah.
far.
That's a lot.
And I'm going to tell you, I love San Diego Comic-Con. Love it, love it, love it. It's changed my life. But for crying out loud,
They're a behemoth. They got enough money. Somebody else can use the term Comic-Con.
yeah, I guess it's kind of like, the word zipper used to be a brand name, but now everybody says, your zipper, zip up your zipper.
Kleenex.
And they've gone into public
Hershey's.
usage.
Well, Hershey's.
Comic-Con's kind of there now, and I understand San Diego Comic-Con wanted to protect their brand. You could not be a Comic-Con. They were probably wanting to franchise or something, but now there's like 2001 Comic-Cons
Yeah.
in the country, but they are still
And
spending.
the very first one was in Manhattan anyway, not in San Diego. So
Was it really?
Yeah, yeah.
Was it called Comic-Con?
I don't remember the name, but it was Michael Uselin who became the Batman executive producer. He was like attended when he was like in grade school, so he was one of the first attendees.
This is great knowledge.
I read his book. It's great. Anyway,
Do you guys think the Comic-Con, in general, Comic-Con bubble is going to pop soon? Because it's one of those, like, it was, like, it's just nerds and
Specifically
became super...
San Diego,
No,
or-
in general.
Okay.
Because it was like, okay, then now, like, it's huge, and now there's cons everywhere. Are people going to get
Yeah.
tired of them?
Maybe less traveling and more people coming in from out of state, because if they have stuff just as good, in their own state, then they don't have to travel and spend all the money on Comic-Con.
That's a good
and
point.
WonderCon
probably
and
why
all
you
that
see
stuff.
so many spread out, because it's like sports teams. Just try to get more in each city, so you have one that's a bit closer to home.
Do all
perhaps.
50 states have them now?
I'd be.
I would say almost.
Yeah. So
I would be surprised if there's a state that does not have one. I don't think
Hawaii even has one.
Yeah, I don't think Alaska.
Oh, maybe.
I think they actually. I think they do. I
Alaska.
think they do have one.
If your state doesn't have a con, tell us.
Yeah, leave a comment down below.
But to answer your question,
Someone.
I do think that I think they're plateauing.
Do your
I
research.
don't
Yes.
think they're popping just yet, but they are plateauing because there were a number of cons this year that actually were canceled, or like Phoenix Comic Con is still happening, but its counterpart is not happening. I don't know what the counterpart of the Phoenix Comic Con is because of that. Also, the Amazing Cons, they cut back on a couple of their cons. They're keeping Hawaii and Las Vegas. Elena Jordan, who used to be on the show, and Emma Five, they were part of that as well, and they were letting us know, they were kind of like consolidating a little bit. Some of the Walker Stalkers have been cutting back. So I know there is a little bit of that going on, but I don't know how much. And just real quick, a couple of other pieces of news. 20th Century Fox might be up for
yes.
sale. Disney was talking about buying them, which means all of Marvel, except for Spider-Man, would be back in the Marvel universe. But then also Comcast, which Comcast Universal is now in talks, it looks like, to purchase them. Sony has also talked to purchase them. So it looks like 20th Century Fox. I hate losing any major studios. There's only 6, and they've been around for a while, but we'll see what happens there. But one thing that we were talking about a little bit earlier, and I
Can
think
you
is kind of-
imagine how much money they would offer Hugh Jackman to come back for
what's gonna happen?
combined
It's gonna happen.
MCU
Bring him to the Avengers.
Wolverine? Like, here, Hugh, we're gonna put dollar bills on the table. You say stop.
back up the truck?
Yeah.
That'd be $100 bills.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll switch to larger denominations to come back for a full
Because,
to bring
you
you
know,
to the MCU.
Apparently, I was reading he's back in the comics, not Hugh Jackman, but Wolverine has somehow miraculously recovered. I may be mistaken in that, but I thought I saw him come back. But
They
real
could
quick,
possibly get Fantastic Four and
Right.
be
That's probably
doing
the big-
that.
that's
One
probably
of
the
our
big one.
viewers
well,
was
one of the
talking
things
about
that I
that
did
here.
want. Oh yeah, the Fantastic
Yeah,
Four.
they were
and-
wanting the director of Goonies, Richard Donner,
Richard
and
Donner,
Lethal
yeah,
Weapon
yeah.
would be awesome.
But like Fantastic Four is currently over there, and all of the X-Men. So and plus Deadpool, and plus all that stuff. So that'd be a
Disney
boon.
and Deadpool. That would be interesting.
I don't know if that would mix, but
Like the trailer when they showed that, it was like totally like edited. Like, oh, I'm just gonna clean this off. Here.
Oh no, we
Like,
saw
it
the
was-
trailer for Deadpool in front of
funny.
Justice League today, and it was the edited trailer because
Oh.
online it's much dirtier.
I noticed that too.
Yeah, did you notice
I
that?
noticed that too. I was like, what?
Yeah.
He
Like
didn't say that.
he no longer loves cocaine.
yeah.
It's
Look at
now
all
he
that.
just loves snow.
Look at all that.
Yeah.
No.
But anyways, we got to hurry up here. And last bit of news, James Gunn. This is something that we're going to be beating here a whole lot. And the fact that we talked today, you were talking about DC fans just going ballistic on people not really liking the movie, or some people not liking the movie, or Marvel fans going ballistic. James Gunn has put out a call. Please, everybody, can we please just get along? He wants to talk about DC films. He likes some of the DC films. He doesn't like some of the DC films, but you'll go to the Hollywood Reporter, go to our website. We kind of link to it about how people are just going crazy. The toxicity of fandom is just getting out of control. Den of Geek had an article they posted today about the toxicity of fandom and how it is becoming a giant hurdle. And so we'll hear more about this as we go along. We're moving into our final
Richard
section.
Donner also directed. Someone commented Superman
For Superman,
78. Yeah.
Superman
Back
what?
in 78. Yeah.
Superman the movie
first
with Chris
Superman.
Oh,
Yeah.
the best
Yeah.
Superman ever made.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah,
love
fans
Richard
would love
Donner.
that. Yeah.
This is Thanksgiving week.
Thanks,
Yes,
Bill.
it is.
So I just thought this would be a great time as we wrap up to talk about just briefly the things that we are thankful for, the things we take, and for example, we love our families, we love the military, we love stuff, but in this world, in the geek world, in the Comic-Con world, in the things that really matter, what are we thankful for?
A constant supply of comic-related films and television series that keep coming out.
Oh my gosh, we are at the zenith. We are at the top. We are at the
Yep,
best time
tons.
ever for comic book related entertainment right now.
And tons of apparel.
Oh my gosh,
So
yes.
many accessories now. Like too many shows you liked when you were younger. There's probably stuff for it now.
Jake.
I think that 2017 probably brought us the most of the best comic book related movies, starting with Logan. You had Guardians 2, you had Spider-Man, you had Wonder Woman, you had Thor. I'd lump Justice League in there.
Absolutely, I
I
would
think
too.
it's a high level of consistency and checks in the W column for everybody on the studio
It's
front.
been a great year for comic book
Yeah.
movies.
Yeah.
Fantastic year, yeah. Look, what about you?
I mean, I gotta first of all, I'm just thankful for the life of Adam West. He left
Oh
us
my gosh, yeah.
this year, but that was the start of it for me, and I'm thankful for him and Batman. That kind of was the beginning, watching that with my dad, and just I grew to love it in different ways as I got older too, and seeing the humor and all that. But everything was believable to me as a kid. Like I was more about the action and the things happening. Always thought they were gonna die, but they didn't, and stuff. But
Golly gee.
thank you, Adam West and Batman. And one of the films I'm looking forward to more than anything is The Disaster Artist. So I'm thankful
This
for
year.
James Franco and Dave Franco, Seth Rogen doing that film. I'm really looking forward to that, and I'm thankful that Tommy's supportive and such a cool dude.
He
about
talked to Tommy
everything.
this
Got
year, and Tommy
got
is
to meet him again this
loving the
year and
film.
stuff. He's like, 99% good movie. It's very accurate. Yes, go see it.
Okay, I gotta
Really
say,
liked it.
I am thankful for the high comedy of Thor Ragnarok. I loved it. I thought it's exactly what Thor needed, and I just couldn't get enough of it. I loved it. I am thankful for Stranger Things 2.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I loved it, and
Just
I
finished that.
And Max, the new character, what a great character for the show. And I think they're going to go a long ways with that. Even her older brother, who's the big douchebag, something's happened. I think we're going to get
There's
a lot
stuff
more
to
out of that.
undig there. Yeah.
Yep.
I am thankful.
There has to be.
Yeah.
I know.
There was too much involvement with those characters. I'm like, please, there has to be more with him.
Well, the thing was, he was a complete douchebag. You completely didn't like him for almost
young Rob Lowe guy.
every scene he was in, until you saw that his dad was such
Nope,
a
I
dick.
still was. He was such a prominent character that you didn't need to over
Right.
emphasize it so much. I mean, yes, you go, okay, so this is why, but it's still like, I get it.
He was
I get
only
it.
nice to Mike's mom, Mr. Flirt.
That was hilarious. That was the only redeeming
I'm really
scene.
worried about my sister. Wink, wink.
She's like, hi.
He always has his shirt like unbuttoned down to his
Yeah.
belly button
That
wherever
was the
he
only
goes.
redeeming scene, and I wanted him, well, not spoiler, but I wanted him to die, and he doesn't die.
Not yet.
Not yet.
He's
Not yet.
Wasn't there also like racial undertones with him too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing
there
is
was.
said
That's right.
out loud, but it's like, let's say he's in 5 scenes. He could have been in 3 or 2, and it would have been great. But
Yeah.
5 was like, he's in too many.
Yeah, they really kind of went. He was homophobic. He was racially insensitive, and every
Abuse-
He didn't
Abuse
seem too
cycle.
He was
homophobic
abusive
at the
to-
shower scene. It was very Top Gun.
all the Top Gun shower scene.
I like.
Hiya. What's the song? Da-da-da. Anyways,
Yeah.
that was it was the 80s. It was, we were more innocent back then. But whatever. I'm also thankful for a Stormtrooper, Yoda, and R2D2 Nutcrackers for Christmas. I found these online today on Shop Disney, and I'm kind of like in the mood for some of those. And also, I got my pass for San Diego Comic-Con. I'm super excited about that. That was always a stressful thing. Anything else that you guys are thankful for this year?
Thanksgiving. It's one of those, yes, probably, but on the spot, like,
It's kind of hard
Yeah.
on the spot. Like, I'm thankful that we only have like how many weeks until Last Jedi comes out?
Yeah.
Like 3 or
Very
4 weeks.
few.
I'm super stoked about that.
ooh, Magicians is coming out soon.
All right, season 3 was
January.
announced, yeah.
Yes. The trailer, go watch it. It's so good. Super excited. You guys
Cool.
watch Magicians? If not, it's on Netflix, guys. Catch
Oh,
up.
and like we said earlier, I'm so thankful that Stan Lee is still with us.
yes.
Yeah.
I'm not to be
He's a
dour.
trip after losing his wife and all that.
I know. I don't know
Is
how
that
many more years we'll be
D23?
able to say that, but I want him to stay as long as he chooses to grace
It
us
was like
with
a
his
week or two
presence.
after his wife died, and then he was singing Zippity Doo Dah at the D23 thing, like doing the parade through the floor. We have that on our Instagram if you want to
Nice.
see it.
All right, guys, we do have to wrap up here. It's been a great show. We are glad to be back. You have a bunch of Comic-Con conventions coming up for the rest of this year. Let us know what you guys think of them. We will see you back. Please subscribe here to the show because we never know when we'll be on, but we know we'll be on Monday nights. So be checking us out here. The Con Guy will be back. Also check out The Scare Guy. We will be back either next week or the following week. Haven't made up our minds yet. But Carrie, where could we find you?
Yes, you can find me online at Twitter, Instagram at Carrie D Lane. That's KARIDLANE.
Find me on Twitter at JT Hummus. You can find me in person at the Warner lot. I work for the people that made Justice League. I should have said the disclaimer lot. Come down and visit. We'll have a lot of fun.
Okay.
You can find me on theconguy.com. Check out our Instagram, Twitter, and you can also find me at ConGuyLuke. And go see Justice League.
Go see Justice League, absolutely.
Have your own opinions about it.
Have your own
Yes.
opinion.
Go in with an open mind.
Yes.
Make your own
I had low
opinions.
expectations, so you know.
Screw
But
Rotten
it was
Tomatoes
good.
right now.
Yeah,
They're all-
your
don't listen to
mind.
Rotten
Yeah.
Tomatoes.
That's right. You can find me at Conguy Jim. Follow us at theconguy.com. We will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Popcorn Talk Network or its owners or principals.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro,